welcome back. In this tutorial, we'll talk about some modifiers which will help us a lot in modeling. So let's make a shape like box. Give it a, give four segments so that you may understand for what we are using the modifiers. So just click on the modifier panel and modifier list. Here are the modifiers which we'll use today, and I will let you know the parameters of the modifiers. So just click the first modifier we'll use is bend. Just click on the bend modifier, and as you increase the value you will see that your object start bending. Here are the bending axes, in which direction you just want to bend your object: x axis, y axis, z axis. How it's look like a racing stage or speakers. Okay, so you can just tweak the values. You can, this is for the direction, in which direction you want to move it. Okay, here is an option for the upper limit. Okay, let's look this bend modifier on a pole. And give it a height. Okay, just give a bit height segments more. Apply the bend modifier on it, and as you just increase the angle you will see that the pole starts bending. Here are the axes in which you just want to move your pole. Here is the direction, and this is called the limit effect. Limit effect is like, if you just on the limit effect you will see that the limit will the angle will not be shown up to the upper limit, to the upside of the pole. As soon as you just increase the limit you can see that this rectangle will show your effect of the limit. As soon as you start increasing you will just see that pole starts getting straight. So this is for just limiting the bend of the pole, in which direction you want to move or how much you just need it. Okay. The bend value will totally be depend the bend will also depend on your height segments. Like, if you just decrease the segments will not give a perfect shape, and as you just increase the height segments you will get a smooth bend shape. Okay, so now let's move to the another modifier. Make a box once again. Click on the modifier tab, modifier list. Now we'll just, okay, let's delete it. Make a box from the front direction. Give it a bit height. Just click on shaded mode. Okay, and go to the modifier panel. Click on the modifier list and just apply lattice. Lattice is another modifier. Okay, so you just see that lattice gives you a shape of window from just a box, simple box. Okay, applying lattice on the box will give you a window. So here are some options. Let us check out joints only from vertices. When you just click on joints only from vertices you will get more three options: tetra, octa, icosa. The another option is struts only from edges. Here you do not get any option. Just you can just decrease and increase the thickness, or we can say radius. Here are the segments option. You can just increase the segments of good shape. Here are the sides for the windows. You have just got a perfect window. We just take a look over here. You just got a window. Okay, let's select it. Let's move to the another modifier. Take a box, increase it height. Just click on the modifier panel, click on the modifier list. Let's move to the another modifier. Like, you can just see melt. Melt is not that much useful for us, but let's talk about it. If you It's like melting your object. As you increase your value you will just see how your object melts. Here is a percentage of melts. Here are some solidity options like ice, sorry, ice, glass, jelly. plastic, let's keep it on the ice. Now as you increase your amount of melting, here are some axes to melt. Okay, you can just change out the values, you can just flip the axis, you can just tweak out the values. It's like you are just making cream and you are just melting into the glass for the animation. We'll talk about it later. Now let's make once again a box, give us a height, press Z. Like if you just press Z, the object will be near to you. Now go to the modifier list. now we'll Now we will talk about, okay, let's delete the box. Let's take a plane. Okay, delete it. Let's talk about a plane. Just increase its segment like 25, 25 and apply noise on it. So here you see that we have just switch off, just make the grid off, click on your plane. You can just increase your value like x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. Here you see that there is a bit noise in the plane. Let me change out the color so you can just observe. Okay, just increase the fractal roughness. You see that there is a noise in the plane. It is used for the ground or water, you can say. You can just increase the segment. It works good in higher segments. You can see it gives a look of the sand. If we just apply a sand texture of, or we just give it a color, you can see that it gives a look of the sand, or you can say soil, surface, water. If you just apply blue color on it, will start giving you effect of water. And just for making it smooth, you can just tweak out the values like this. Okay, let's delete noise from it. Again, let's move to the modifier list and let's talk about the push. Push modifier will push your object and give it a thickness. Like if you just click on the modifier list, move to the push modifier, and if you just increase the value, you will see that how push just push your object from inner side and may give it a fluffy look. You can just observe how the value increasing size is getting just over and over, just like a fatty person. Just delete the push modifier from it. Now move next to like relax will just relax your object. Like if it's having sharp edges, it will just relax it. You can just increase the value, you can just increase iterations. Like you just got a basic shape of the stone. Okay, let's delete it. Now let's move to the next modifier, shell will be. Okay, let's take a cylinder. Let's take a cylinder. For just explaining you, let me convert into the poly mode. Let's delete polygons from it. Okay, apply shell modifier fire on it. So basically shell modifier gives you thickness. When you just apply shell to your object, you just switch off the shell object modifier, you will just get two options: inner amount, outer amount. Let's make it 0. Inner amount will give you thickness from the inner side, outer amount will give you thickness from outer side. Here are some segment option. Okay, so let's delete this object. Shell is basically for giving thickness to your object. Okay, like if you just want to give thickness from to your object from inner side, you can just apply shell on it. Okay, so let's move to the another modifier. Go to the modifier panel, modifier list. Let's take a look over on the modifier like smooth. Smooth will just smooth your object. Like you just click on the auto smooth, keep threshold to the 40, 50, 60. You will just see the change. Okay, let's decrease it. Okay, let's make it to the 90. Okay, so you see here a basic smooth object. You can just notice the change after applying smooth. Okay, delete it. Let's move to the another modifier. Another modifier is stretch. You can just observe that stretch modifier, just stretch your object. Okay, just let's go to the box and just increase some segments so that it will give a good shape. Keep it realistic to shaded, and you will just observe that stretch will just stretch your object. Amplify, you can just make thick and thin middle portion. Stretch axis in different, stretch your object in different axes. Once again, you can just limit your effect by increasing upper limit and lower limit. Okay, so here you just get a basic shape of core. If you just increase a bit amplitude, or you can say building, you will just get cartoonish effect, or you will just get an effect of cartoonish building. So here's the result of stretch option. Release stretch modifier from the box. You can just just go to the next modifier. Next modifier is basically ripple. For ripple, we'll make a plane and apply ripple on it. Ripple effect will give effect of water. Apply ripple and just increase the amplitude. So here you see some. Okay, let's increase it more. So here you see the wave effect. As you see the round wave effect. Okay, move to the amplitude. Now you will see more effect. You can just increase or decrease the wavelength, like its total water effect. Okay, let's make it to the 30 round wave effect, and you can just increase phase value and more amplitude, decrease waves, and you can notice a water effect, like how we throw a stone in the water and it will give you the same effect of ripples, like the waves, the round shape. So ripple is basically used for giving some wave shapes or round shapes where you just throw an object. It's for making just water or giving just some variations in the water. Okay, let's delete the ripple effect. Now move to next modifier. Next modifier is twist. Let's delete it. Take a cylinder. So basically twist modifier is for just twisting your object 360. Like if you just apply a twist on it and you start increase your angle value, you will see that your object starts twisting. Okay, there are different axes, you can just check out. Once again, the limit effect, you can just tweak out the value, and if you just increase the twist value, you will see you start getting a twisted shape. It's basically used when you are just making some uncommon shape, or like Indian use latte and much more. Okay, you can just check out it, or you can just sugar cane, little bit twisted sugar cane. Okay, so it will just give you effect, or you can just make a candle, because candles are having little bit rough effect on the corners on the shape. Okay, let's delete the twist effect. Now let's move to the next modifier. Next modifier is, let's take a look, stretch. Okay, stretch we have talked about. Sorry. Next modifier is, we have talked about slice. Okay, let's move to a squeeze. Squeeze will just squeeze out your object. You can just notice the change. Melting was like melting your object, and squeezing like just squeezing your object from the middle and making it large. You can just tweak out the values, how the values changes. You can just radial squeeze your object. You can just radial squeeze your object. You can see how we have just changed the object by squeezing into the from the middle side. You can just tweak out the values curve. See how easily you have just made a shape. So basically these modifiers help us in making our model easily. Okay, let's delete the squeeze option. Now let's move to the another modifier. Another modifier is turbo smooth. Turbo smooth is basically like, let's delete this option, take a box. Okay, let's decrease the segments to the 5 okay, so now you can see that you have some sharp edges. You can increase your segment but still you will have some sharp edges. So let's make 555 and press 7 on your keyboard. So here you will get the polygons. Polygon is basically like this: 1 2 3 4 5. These are the polygons. So the total polygons present in this report or the scene is 300. So when you just apply turbo smooth on this model object, you will just multiply your segments 4 times. Like it's 300, now you will just apply turbo smooth and this modifier will make your segments to 1200. And you can just see now a smooth round shape you are just getting. And here is the iterations option. As you just increase another iteration, it will again multiply your segments into 4 times. Like if you just increase the iterations, so 1200 into 4 will just increase your segments to 4800. So it will just increase the segments and make your scene look more heavy, and it may hang your PC. Just be careful about the iterations. Don't just suddenly move iterations to the 9 or 10. It will just hang out your PC. It is just for making it is just for making the object or the shapes look smoother, look perfect. Like if we just switch off the modifier, you will get a look of just hard edges. It's not looking good. And if you just make the turbo smooth on, we'll start getting some smooth edges, smooth corners, smooth objects. So basically turbo smooth is for making your objects look more smooth. Okay, you can just take a look how your object is looking smooth, your box is looking so much smooth. Just delete the modifier. Let's move to the another modifier. Another modifier is wave. Wave is basically for making some. Okay, let me show you how we can use wave modifier. Wave modifier is used for making some tin. This will help in making some tin, like like the shed. You can just observe. This will help you a lot in making it easily within seconds. So like you just, sorry, it's taking a bit time. Let's, okay, till we get the tin. Okay, let's just close it. I will explain you normally. Just take a plane, give it segments of 2020. Okay, just give it 20 segments and apply wave on your plane. Wave, and now you will see as I increase the amplitude value, you will start getting the wave in your tab. You can just notice how you start getting the waves. You can just decrease it, just keep it to normal. Okay, so here you get a shape of tin. You can just make it more sharp. Okay, you can, oops, sorry, not decay. You can just tweak out the values for more and more and more. So here you get effect of tin. You can just make it more smoother for smooth edges. Now you can see that how wave modifier helped us in making waves in our object. Like it has just created the waves waves we can use for the tin, like the tin on the house or the hut. It will help you. This modifier will help you in making that tin so much easily. Okay, let's delete the wave modifier. Now take a look which on the next modifier. Okay, so we are done with all the basic modifiers we'll need in our model. Need will So we are done with the modifiers which will help us a lot in the modeling. And the next modifier is displays. Displays is basically used for the mountains, creating mountains very easily. So about displays, we'll need some displays images. So I think we should talk about displays modifier later. Okay, so we'll talk about displays modifier and the compound objects in the next tutorial. So just keep watching tutorials. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share our videos. Thank you.